Travis Wayne Goodsell. We'll give you a bit of a break, as if, everybody's watching my channel anyway, and cover Utah news. Last week I sort of sloughed off on keeping up to date on what's going on here in Utah, and found out I missed out on some gems and some tragedies. So we'll go over it together. You can hold my hand. Where are you? Like my Paleo-Hebrew dream girl. Where are you? I know you're out there. I know you're interested in me, my work. Where are you? Make yourself known unto me. Anyway, so Utah is going Plastique. If you don't know what Plastique is, I would refer you to Aqua. They have a song called Barbie, or I'm a Barbie girl, or something like that. Plastique refers to the 80s, when women were upset with other women who were getting breast implants and Botox injections and other kinds of plastic surgeries that made them feel better about their bodies. It was body shaming, plain and simple. Women were feeling insecure about their look and appearance and assumed that getting plastic surgery would help them feel better about themselves. They were body shamed. They were body shaming, and then they were victim blamed after they themselves body shamed themselves. Why are people so mean to each other and themselves? And it was mostly religious women who were condemning these plastiques because they were afraid of the plastic agenda that would transform their little girls into plastiques, and little boys would desire to marry a plastique. Instilling fear and shame. So yeah, apparently during coronavirus, it's back again in Utah. So Utah is violating Trump because Mitt Romney voted for the infrastructure package. So Utah will have money that will be diverted to other programs that the governor wants rather than to what it's supposed to go for. But I thought they didn't want to take money from a Democrat-run government. They only take it from a Republican-run government. I'm starting from the most recent. This Plastique one was an hour ago, just in case you cared. It's Fox 13 News Utah on YouTube. A Utah man is seeking police pursuit policy change following wife's death in high-speed crash. This frustrates me to no end. When a school shooter, we have a bomb threat here in Utah that I'll be getting to, or some other incident involving police, you always have people blaming the police, blaming the first responders, blaming those who had nothing to do with the incident. If this Utah man is so upset that his wife died in a police chase, you sue the person who was causing the police chase. For a school shooting, you don't blame the police, You don't blame the teachers, you don't blame the school, you blame the shooter. How hard is that to identify cause? You know, I'm upset with the police. They're an unconstitutional entity. Find them in the Constitution. You ain't gonna find it. Our states established them in violation of the Constitution. Nonetheless, police are supposed to be serving and protecting. So what do you do when you've got gang members or criminals who are fleeing the scene? They're now using a vehicle as a weapon, and they're running amok in our communities, wherever the crime is taking place. And you want the police to stand down, let the guy get away. You do that for businesses, but the police are the ones that are responsible for catching these guys. Now I know there's this thing called forensic investigation, and police don't want to do that. They'd rather lock people up and force a confession before they'll let them go with a record, a criminal record. Like I said, I have lots of problems with the police and the way the system is run. But it's about misplacing blame. You know, I watched Bad Boys over the weekend, 1 and half of 2, and realized, wow, I've got most of this down pat. But this high-speed chase on the freeway, this is part 2, you know, the one I've been telling you about, where psychos are evil people and using anti-science to self-fulfill in others by repetition. You're mentally ill, 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 until you accept it. Oh, I guess I'm mentally ill because you keep saying it. And then they drug you, and your life is over and ruined. And so, Martin Lawrence, you're angry, you're angry, you're angry, you're angry, you're angry. No, I'm not. Everybody saying I'm angry is making me angry. That's the whole point of psychos. They're evil, anti-science, and use fallacy to assert their authority. And the law lets them get away with it, as they have doctor-patient confidentiality, when they're not even real doctors. They got a doctorate degree. So if I were to get a doctorate degree in Egyptology, do I now have doctor-patient confidentiality? No! Why do they then? Why are they now the legal drug pushers in America? You know, when an incident does happen, they're the first ones on the scene to administer drugs to the victims. Dear God. So yeah, there's much more to say on that as we go through this. But again, it's all a diversionary tactic to let the actual criminals get away and go unpunished. It pisses me off to no end. And so apparently we shouldn't be buying our pizza from Papa John's because they'll shoot you. Utah man shot at pizza place because his order wasn't ready. Oh my God! Do you not want customers? Are you a business for customers, but you don't want them? I know Papa John's pizza sucks big time, but nonetheless, my goodness. Oh no, wait a minute. It's Papa Murphy's. I shouldn't get those confused. Papa John is the racist who quit as CEO to be taken over by another CEO to do damage control. Better make sure I get my pizza places correct. So here's a Utah man who did actually get arrested for committing crimes. That's surprising. Swindling millions of Mormons. He's got new charges now. Park City receives $20,000 for reusable to-go containers. Oh boy. That's the kind of problems you need to have resolved. Park City. Yay. I hope you guys are being safe during the annual Sundance Festival. Because we should be having it. It's beginning of the year, isn't it? Sometime? Is that how it works? New Utah grant reimburses employees taking time off for COVID vaccine. A grant, you have to have a grant to reimburse employees because the businesses don't want to give time off, sick leave. I think that would be a perfect use of sick leave. But businesses don't want to give sick leave in Utah, I guess. They require more money, for which they can... Oh my God! So our Hill Air Force Base has been overrun. So the planes are no longer in our control. It's now in the control of terrorists. We're all doomed. Apparently there was a security incident 14 hours ago. You get cold bottoms driving GMs. No more seat warmers. You have to buy them separately. I never had a seat warmer in my cars, and they weren't GM. All these privileged people. Considers, that's not news. Chris Stewart, Nazi Mormon from Utah, announces re-election. Just watch his voting record. Don't get mad at me. Native Language Initiative announced. So all this time you don't know the language of the people that are in your state. So you have no attempt to try to communicate. They, what, have to learn English? Oh no, a bear in a tree. Everybody run. Everybody flee. It's a bear. And apparently as mayor you're required to plant trees. Mayor Mendenhall has planted 1,000 now. And here's something kind of cool. Reese's introduces Thanksgiving-sized Reese's Pieces cupcake pie. So that'll do good when I'm having low blood sugar attacks. There's a teen shooting as they show the temple, Salt Lake Temple. It's right there in the picture. So apparently there was a teen shooting at the temple. It was streamed 16 hours ago. It has 1.7K views. My heavens, Fox 13 News Utah, you never get that many views. What in the world is going on? And of course 1.1K for the Weather Girl, whereas Mendenhall gets 268 views. 60 for get a courtesy vehicle check at AAMCO, AAMCO. Yeah, as if that's news. Didn't John Oliver talk about this, or was it somebody else that was talking about the scam of local news and the private deals they make to avoid the law to do commercials during the shows? Dear God. I mean, that Masturbator. I would be surprised if I didn't see the Masturbator commercial. You're not familiar with it? It vibrates. It's just unbelievable. This is for families. Kids watch the news, and they're talking about vibrators. And of course, they only say ED. And so the kids are then saying, oh, I want that, Mommy. What's ED? Right here on Fox 13 News, Utah. Oh, but he's a medical doctor. He invented it. No. No, he didn't. No, they've been around. Apparently there's a standoff, or they're investigating a standoff right here in my hometown. Yay! Yay! Oh, God. And Select Health can help you with open enrollment questions. If I have to keep checking to see if there's something else that will benefit me by a few pennies, I'm not interested. Oh, no, you need to check. You never know. Yeah, screw you. If my health care is going to screw around with me, I really wish the government would lock all these guys up. It's illegal. It's a gambling institution. Gambling's illegal in Utah. You give them money with no guarantee of a return on your investment. Remember the floods? Oh, your insurance didn't help you. And why? Oh, because there was no guarantee on a return on your investment. And so puppets are now being transmorgified into Asians on Sesame Street. They're puppets. They're not supposed to be human. Because next thing you'll hear, Ernie and Bert are gay. Do you remember that fiasco? Again, a homemaker. A religious-minded homemaker is upset that her kid is being influenced by gay puppets. Oh, okay, plan burns. And Journey at the end of the Sopranos and immortalized in SNL. They're coming to Utah because of the mafia in Utah that runs the whole state. They aren't involved in sanitation, though. They've got a different racket. Oh, great. Psychos are being put to work with the horses. There's horse whisperers and then there's psychos. And you don't do mental health benefits for horses. You use horse whisperers. God. Leave the horses alone. Apparently a Midvale wedding went awry as somebody got murdered. How dare you marry my woman? I have no idea what happened. But something didn't happen, or something didn't go right. So that kind of sucks. Weddings are really not necessary. They're a religious, institutionalized origin thing, and then transformed over the millennias, depending on the nation throughout the world, that it eventually became, women are property, and so the marriage was the slave purchase ceremony, that she now belongs to you, and any kids that come from her. And so technically there really isn't a need. You know, Adam and Eve, there was no marriage ceremony. They were just naked. Hey, let's hang out. Let's have kids. We're commanded to do so. And Utahns continue to demonstrate they're the worst drivers in the universe ever. So yeah, record numbers of unacceptable crashes, fatal crashes, recorded by the Utah Highway Patrol. There's a fire at the Home Depot in Park City. You actually lowered your standards to have a Home Depot in Park City. Draper kicked out a Walmart. Let's see. There's a Utah worker who became an FBI informant for cows. Beef exporter. Apparently, Utah beef has got some beefs. I almost didn't use that. Yeah, there's the families react to the robbery of their kids, and they're not blaming Nelson. Tech Talk. There's an LGBTQ IAPO is missing. Plus, community resource app. So it's a dating app? How are they different than regular other humans? I don't understand. What resource? Do they not do normal things too? The only thing I can think of is for finding others so that they can spend time with them like Adam and Eve spent time. I don't understand. Help me. I only see it as a dating app. Oh, God. A child in Utah received an adult vaccine dose of corona vaccine. Dear God. Oh, and yay, it gets worse. Only previous refugees are helping the new refugees in Utah. Regular Utahns are not helping. God. Oh, we're gonna welcome them with open arms. Yay, we're glad they're coming. So apparently the new refugees refused to join the Mormon Church. There's my title. New Utah refugees refuse to join church, get kicked out. Oh, look! There it is! I told you! That's the billboard! The death threat! There it is! Right there! There it is! This simple question could save your life. There it is! That's my death threat! On my morning run! On the billboard that the church put up! There it is! That's it! That's it! And it's psychos again. Psychos, they keep repeating over and over and over and over and over again until you accept it and say, yes, I have a problem, I am that way. There it is! No, it's not. I can't read it. Zoom in. You never down what's up can save your life? No, mine is different. Sorry, false alarm. But it has the same thing. It's, you know, a quote from the person on the other end of the line of the helpline, mental health helpline, and they are saying, "Are you having thoughts of killing yourself? Can save your life." No, that's what suggestive implants. I can't think of the technical term for it. It's frustrating me. I think I almost had it and then I don't. But it's where, like Martin Lawrence. No, I'm not. Well, you keep saying that is now, ta-da, he's angry now. But it's not because of what they were saying he was angry for. It was because they kept saying over and 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 over that he's angry. And so, yeah. Oh, are you wanting to kill yourself? Are you having thoughts of killing yourself? Well, now I am, that you've introduced it to my mind. Oh, well, then let's give you some drugs. Dear God. And then, hell. Hell no. Did you have a whole day for this? Have you ever felt like you needed help but didn't know where to start? Not alone in Utah. Dear God. And so, yeah, the church, when they, I missed that, Allison. Naughty girl. But, I mean, dear God, suggestive, it's probably not suggestive. That's probably what's screwing me up with my associative learning. God. So, yeah. Our youth today face challenges that can affect mental health. Yay! Yeah, it's part of a Not Alone in Lifeline. Not Alone Lifeline. Dear God, they spent the whole day on this. How stigma around mental illness. No, it's not around mental illness. It's around the psychos who are purposely causing what is non-existent. If you have a serious problem in the brain, it's medical and you need to see a medical professional. God. And so, yeah, a little girl in Utah, in the school districts here, has been bullied, and now they're announcing an independent investigation into her bullying. Well, look at the church. They're the ones causing it, along with supporting mental illness and supporting insurance companies. And God. So apparently parents are being shamed in Utah because there's Not Alone in Utah is also parenting without creating shame. How dare you raise kids? The church will raise your kids. Hand them over. Oh, dear God. Well, another person got actually locked up. What do you know? A Salt Lake City attorney accused of embezzling millions for Mormons. Locked up. And I'm guessing it's the little child in the woman's arms? Oh, there's a Santa shortage. likely to impact Utah. Breaking news. Oh, God. Lawmakers trolling in Utah at the airport. You suck. Go back home. Go home to where you come from. There's the first instance. Utah child, 5 years old, mistakenly given adult COVID vaccine at Midvale Clinic. Tree Mountain Man is handing out THC edibles, marijuana edibles, to his co-workers. But it's allegedly. He hasn't been indicted yet. He hasn't been fired either. All good. Cox is stepping in to talk with the church about the child who got bullied at a school. Of course not. They're not going to blame the church. And if you hadn't guessed, her color is not white, like Cox's. Like the majority of the leadership, well, all of the leadership. We have a Brazilian, but he's the white Brazilian. And then you have Gong, who's Asian American. Have always been white. And then more advertising on food and surgical arts. Is that something different than plastic surgery? Because don't we have a problem of people getting plastic surgery? Is this why? Because you're advertising for it? Or is surgical arts something else? Big Brothers. COVID's still raging in Utah. Yeah, I tell you that and you get angry at me. It's called consequences. You failed to listen to the medical professionals. These are the consequences. You're not supposed to get mad at other people and victim blame for what you yourself caused. Here's a Muslim who's a convicted felon who's now got a doctorate. Yay! Doctor-patient confidentiality and allow him to be a drug pusher. Good for you. And there's Snoopy. He's now Snoopy the space astronaut. I used to do cartooning of Snoopy back when I was a kid. I was all into Snoopy this and Snoopy that. Oh, a soccer player from RSL is being mean to a teammate. Only in Utah. Right? It happens nowhere else. Only in Utah. The suspect did get away. Police looking for suspect who got away after chase that started in West Valley City. And then the husband's upset that they got away and his wife died in that incident, I guess. Blaming the cops. Healthier together. Medicare myths. It's actually a mafia-run organization, sponsored by the government. And so Dixie State, yeah, you thought Facebook to Meta was big? Dixie is no longer the land of the South. It's now Utah Tech. Because if we change the name, they're no longer racist? They're no longer Confederates? Oh, there's the bear. Apparently drug dealers are using drones to deliver drugs to Utahns. Or psychologists are using drones to deliver drugs to Utahns. I don't understand. There's some missing information here. Drones to deliver drugs supplies to Utahns starting next year. If you're going to be that vague in the title, you better expect a guy like me to come along and misunderstand it. Cox isn't going to veto the bills passed in special session. You called the special session. Why would you veto the bills that you purposely asked the legislature to come in for a special session to pass? Okay, so federal appeals court reinstates a lawsuit over Salt Lake City police shooting. Is that for the victim or against the victim? And again, Governor Herbert told us last year, Utah does not have any racist police officers that shoot unarmed black men. So what you're seeing in the thumbnail is not real. Utah does not have a racist problem. It's a bigoted problem. And a sexist problem. And a hating of the poor problem. But no, 1978 changed everything. No longer racist. They're now the true church again. Make the LDS church true again. That should be a title for one of my videos one day. Maybe we'll use it for this one. Make church true again. Oh, yay! A person impersonating a police officer in Kearns. Oh, right next door. He's stopping drivers. Yay! Semi-trailer caught on fire. Did it spontaneously combust? I haven't done the video updating you on the church's Joseph Smith Memorial Building fire. Holy crap, there's nobody listening now. Yeah, the church said in the beginning, oh, it's probably this, and that's the end of it. No investigation, or no results from the investigation. It doesn't take this long to figure out who done it. Those sister missionaries, they were caught smoking. Things got hot. And out of control. Gone wild. And the church is covering it up. There's an arrest made following Midvale wedding party killing. It's called murder. Killing indicates something like self-defense, or that there was a war going on. It was murder. A Utah woman was fined for refusing to wear a face mask on a plane. Yay! See how good the church is at setting the example for Mormons? Romney. Oh, Utah's going to get so much money, and it's going to be diverted to other things, to the church. You know exactly that that's going to happen. 140,000 veterans are the population in Utah. My goodness, guys. Utahns love to go to war. They love to go out and kill people, not murder, because they're enlisted, ordered by their president. Uh-oh. Another coronavirus scandal. More than 2 million coronavirus home test kits recalled. And people wonder why there's confusion and misinformation. Okay, so the Nazi SS are stepping things up to crack down on North Temple now. Because the Gateway Mall with Operation Rio Grande failed, so now they've got to clean up North Temple. I mean, the place is old, and so only the poor can afford it. And of course, it's got your hotels, your motels, where people actually live there instead of renting. And of course, there's prostitution. Oh no, inflation is pushing your income tax bracket higher for 2022. There's the first showing of the woman flying to Salt Lake is fined $24,000, not wearing a mask. Restoring our streets. Oh my God! Yeah, that's the North Temple thing. They're homeless. Leave them alone. They need the place to live. They're homeless. Leave them alone. It's that Mendenhall woman, again, who's cracking down on the homeless. You can't live here. We'll figure something out in a few years, but for right now, you gotta leave. So, apparently a veteran has murdered Gabby Ramos. And so Cox ranks high among Nazi Republicans. That's great. Salt Lake City Hall reopens. There's a cotton candy lobster. I don't think it would be affordable on Snap. Snap has the scandal of the guy who was on Snap, and he was trying to prove a point that it's not enough money, so he buys a lobster, and everybody complained that he's not allowed to buy lobster as a person on Snap. Oh, really? Okay. So the poor getting government funding to buy food, which is obviously nowhere near enough to buy food, because it's a supplemental, have to buy what we the people tell them to buy, and they can't buy other things with it. Well, yeah, that's why the FLDS church locked up Warren Jeffs. Snap fraud violations. Yep, there's the soldier charged with domestic assault, threatening officials. That's a different woman. Okay, so there's another veteran. Okay, so the point of the mountain where Draper has influence, they're upset again. Don't you dare put a Walmart there. Don't you dare extend tracks. Just because all of our slaves use tracks to get to our homes does not give you the right to build tracks, which will lower our property values. Yeah, they chased out the homeless shelter. That was on the news. I knew people in the audience. And yes, they are that awful. Lake Powell. Oh, I thought the drought was over. It's still setting record lows for being low. No water. But I thought it was over. We had the flooding and the rain and the snow on the mountains. Where is the snow on the mountains, by the way? Where'd it go? It's gone? What? You guys have no clue how the weather works. And the news just helps perpetuate that ignorance. Logan High School student may face charges after reporting a bomb threat. Gas explosion destroyed a Springville apartment. Oh, that's comforting news. Hey guys, guess what? You no longer have a home for this year and this Christmas. Have fun adding to the numbers of homeless on the streets that we're trying to have evicted, if not murdered. Yep, and kids here in Utah with asthma because of the pollution hits parts of Salt Lake County harder. Yeah, because pollution. We all know this is the cause. And 666. I watched Buck Rogers yesterday. 666. It was just in the background. One of the spacecraft loading docks, loading dock 666. Oh, that's cool. Mormon is in charge of that. Glenn A. Larson. He's now dead, but nonetheless, he's left his mark in Hollywood. Yep, 10-year-old girl. She died? Oh. Oh, dear God. What does it take to change the essence of a Mormon? The question asked by Steven Seagal to racist oil refinery workers who were picking on the Alaskan Indians. The refinery worker thought he would beat up on Steven Seagal because he's a cupcake. And he's a big man with big balls. I want to cry. These are Mormons. Mormon kids. 10-year-old girl is now dead because the Mormons learned to hate. And we don't want to shame parents. We're done.